Yay!
The diversity is tremendous around the world, all on one day, rising together. It has never happened. So thank you very, very much for being here. I think we're now all going to dance.
So what is your call to action for the women who have participated today?
My call to action is really a cry of thank you. Thank you for celebrating what can be, not what currently is. Thank you for making your presence known in the wonderful global initiative to stop violence against women and girls.
And for those women in the rural areas who may not have known about this or participated this year, what is your advice for them in this coming year for their own lives?
Go to the website. You can find ways that you can change and create an environment where you can be proactive. You can do it online through social media. And in addition to that, you can do it. You would be amazed at what local communities are able to uncover when they put their minds to it. Create your own movement. V-Day is more than just one day. It is a lifelong commitment. And I believe that anyone, anywhere can participate. If women can participate in South Africa and Afghanistan, where women aren't allowed to dance in public in the streets, you can do it.
And how about that woman who is listening to this and cowering with fear because she knows that we are talking about her and her situation? What would you advise for her?
There is always help and there is always hope. You can go to National Sexual Assault Hotlines. This is why we are fighting for VAWA to get passed. This is accessible to you. There is always a way. There are means in communities that would surprise you, and if you feel helpless and alone, you aren't. You can go to the National Sexual Assault Hotline. You can go to rape treatment centers. If you've never spoken the words, they can be spoken. You can do it without having to voice it vocally by going to online hotlines that allow you to type the words if you don't have the courage to say it out loud in that moment. But that courage comes, and that change comes.
Oh, you bet. What is your name?
I'm Lindsay.
Okay, so what do you want to have happen because of this event now for the women in the California area?
Well, we know Eve Ensler has said that what we've done today is take this conversation from the margins to the mainstream. That's exactly what we want. We want everyone talking about violence against women and how it must stop. Once this conversation goes to the margins, that's where women get forgotten and that's where the problem happens. Now that it's mainstream, we're never going back. This is the end of violence against women and girls.
And have you had some instances as an organizer of people coming forth with what has happened to them in their own lives?
Absolutely, and this is the miracle of V-Day, truly, that people have found this safe space over our 15 years of existence. Our organization has been around for 15 years. We're celebrating it today, actually, and they have seen that V-Day has really transformed their ability to talk about these issues and has helped them rise from victim to survivor.
And what are your goals for the young women who are just finding out about this organization?
Well, we know that young women experience sexual assault at astounding rates. We know that sexual assault happens on college campuses. We know that sexual assault happens in the home. And so we are hoping that young women everywhere will join our movement to rise with us and demand an end to this violence. Thank you.
And you are one of the most beautiful, energetic women out here. Why are you here tonight?
Well, I was a 2012 Rio de Janeiro Carnival Queen, and when I heard about this movement, I made sure that I was out tonight, because that's the reason as a young girl I was born in Bosnia, actually. I was the first non-Brazilian carnival queen of the Rio de Janeiro Carnival. And I did that so that all the women who have ever been distraught and ever had a moment in their mind of doubt that they're anything but divine, that they would stand up with me and dance and rise. And when I found this movement, I found my voice. I found an entire world that shares this desire. And so I had to put all that I have to be here.
So what have you found as you've talked with everyday women who are out there being battered, raped, and abused?
I think that the most important thing for us as women is to always, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what may happen to us, remember that we are the creatrixes in this life. We are the portals, the highest portals of love in this world. We are mothers, we are daughters, we are muses. We are the highest form of art, and nobody can take that away from us. 2 wars by the age of 7 couldn't take it away from me. And it's time that we make sure nothing ever takes anything, that freedom that we have to be happy and to dance and to feel our power. Nothing take that away. Nothing can take that away. It's ours.
Now, do you live in Los Angeles or do you live in Rio?
I just flew out from the carnival to come to this event.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure. Thank you, Martha.
And I've been to Rio.
You've been to Rio?
I have.
And that there's so much love. Look at this, is all love. It's a beautiful time to be alive.
I love it.
I'm in a band called Sonic Ashtanga, S-O-N-I-C, Ashtanga, A-S-H-T-A-N-G-A. We're working on our first record for the U.S. market, bringing together a lot of really cool musicians, ranging from Slash and Matt, from Guns N' Roses, to old guys like Pat Boone. And
How do you happen to be here tonight?
well, I came with a good friend of mine, Devla, whom you guys interviewed as well. She was the queen of the Brazilian carnival, amongst many other things. But essentially, I mean, I really, you know, in my country, we've had a lot of, you know, abuses of women, of children. Malala, whom I wrote a poem for and presented at the Hollywood Music and Media Awards. Malala is the Time Magazine runner-up of the year, person of the year. She's the girl that the Taliban shot in the head. And not only did the Taliban shoot her in the head, they left her for dead, all because and the crime that she committed for being shot was to have gone to school.
Yes.
And she's become, through that, she has become an icon throughout the world for girls' rights education. She's an inspiring figure that recently was just released from the hospital. And my poem is called Malala is a Miracle. And I think the HMMAs are going to put it online soon. But I mean, I think that it's an ode to this beautiful young being, you know, this feminine power that's so young yet is a pillar of hope for girls everywhere. Not just in Pakistan, but the world over now.
And what do you think will happen in Pakistan, let's say in this coming year?
Well, I mean, it's terrible, you know, I mean, it is horrible. The conditions are terrible, and for women, you know, the Taliban, a lot of people, I did a documentary called The Karachi Kids, and a lot of people, you know, were saying that this is a way of life, but I refuse to accept as a way of life something that strips women of their rights to property, of their rights to even driving a car, to dressing the way they want to, as opposed to the way that's prescribed to them by their patriarchal, you know, mullah bosses. I mean, it's just not right. I mean, you're depriving, you know, half the population of your rights. And under their system of law governance, if a woman's raped, she has to come up with 4 male witnesses. And you tell me that anything more criminal than that, it speaks for itself.
So what are your hopes and dreams for the little girls in Pakistan today?
Yeah. Well, my hopes and dreams are that they build on the momentum of what's happening in the world, that they stand up for their rights, that the rest of the world, in the spirit of what's happening today, stand up for their rights, because this is what I like about this event. It's building the community, the worldwide community that is acknowledging that women's rights are, women have been historically and are currently deprived of their basic rights, and that they are targeted, by violence disproportionately compared to men. If you look at domestic violence in the United States, I think, I don't remember the exact number, but it's a huge majority of it, the victims are women. So this is a very important cause to me. I just found out about this through Dove Love. I'd like to be involved with my band next year, or whenever you guys, because it's such a noble cause. It's such an important cause, you're talking about half the world's population.